Will Bitcoin's next move be another major market crash to the downside? Or, my friends, could BTC be gearing up for an absolutely explosive rip to new highs? Let's dive in and analyze. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. Today we're going to discuss the Bitcoin price and the action inside the chart right now. Bitcoin is in a very unique spot, my friends, trading under a long-term macro resistance trend line. But here on the micro time frames, we are looking like we are creating somewhat of a new local support. Are we going to see this fail and take us way back down? We'll discuss those potential targets. But if this holds here, what could we possibly expect to the upside? So as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell. And let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up. All right. So we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice. This is not trading advice. These are only my own opinions, ideas, and speculative hypotheses on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. That being said, let's begin right here on the weekly time frame for Bitcoin. You know what? Let's actually start on the monthly. Let's just keep going from the longest term time frame and we'll zoom into the intraday, okay? So here on the monthly, my friends, clearly Bitcoin's still in a long multi-year downtrend. I mean, this is the most clear-cut series of lower highs you're ever going to find. And then, you know, really, if we just look at it here from basically 2019 forward, I mean, my friends, we have really yet to ever change the downward sloping trajectory of this trend. I mean, it is what it is. You see it on the candlestick chart. And if we actually go to the line chart, which only accounts for candle body closes and not the wicks, I mean, this downtrend to me is even more clear cut here on this trend, right? And it looks to me very, very similar to what we saw back here in 2018, where we created a long-term descending triangle, which then wound up breaking down to the downside. I mean, my friends, this to me looks very, very eerily similar here to what we saw back in that previous heinous downtrend. Let's get this crypto. For me right there on the monthly, I mean, I think that paints a very clear picture of what we got going on. Let's go into the weekly time frame. Very much the same, except here you could see now that the last several weeks of price action have been stuck right inside this red box, okay? And this red box for me is pretty much the area of most significant confluence for the Bitcoin price for years at this point. This all started back here in 2017. We had a major resistance, which then was our final resistance before then being broken through, back tested, and then launching to our $20,000 blow off top. So this was the first and last range of historic confluence. Then upon our capitulation, that's where we wicked down to. And then of course we formed our grueling multi-month support there around 6,000 before capitulating, and we've respected this range ever since. Now, my friends, let's zoom in here on these last few weeks of candles. These two wicks here, after we capitulated down to 3.8K, right? We wicked back up, and I want you guys to notice these two candles here in particular. The price action struggled when it got up towards the 7K region. Very, very difficult. And these are, per classical technical analysis theory, very bearish looking wicks, right? We saw that the sell pressure came in around 7K each and every time. Luckily, the next week wound up closing up in that region, right? So we had bad wick. And right here, we actually managed to close, giving the bulls some hope. The following week, we wicked up even higher, but we closed right around the same area. And now this week, my friends, we could see the price is struggling here once again. And this, to me, should not be overlooked here, as if we do wind up drawing a rectangle around this box, right? Around this area here that we've seen the price struggling. This box to me here is the maximum area of struggle that Bitcoin has been facing. And if we drag this box over, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, look at what we're talking about here, right? I mean, it's picture perfect. We're seeing old support right here, right back in June of 2019. Old support flipped into new support again, flipped into support again. And now, my friends, as we're back testing it from the underside, we're seeing this entire range here. The box where all of the confluence is acting as nearly a perfect macro resistance point. Now, sure, if we can get through there, we'd hope that the bulls take it through, back test, and now hold it as support. And that would be the beginnings of what could potentially be a healthy bullish uptrend, right? But if we wind up failing here, ladies and gentlemen, if the bears take back control here, which at this point in time does not look far-fetched in my opinion, I mean, this would be a confirmation, just like up here. The support ripped us to the upside, right? Then again, the support ripped us to the upside. Again, support ripped us to the upside. My friends, if this was now purged through, back tested, and resistance is confirmed here, I mean, I'm not going to rule it out of the realm of normalcy to, just like up here, it acted as the launching pad to the upside 3 separate times. It would not surprise me for this to be the inverse launching pad that could bring us to the downside from here on out, okay? And this would, in my opinion, validate this whole red box region, okay? This whole thing here as a new macro resistance ceiling, okay? Just as we had the macro resistance ceiling created up here around all the way up to 11,000, right? Where we saw resistance, 5 times, my friends, and then capitulation. I think it's possible that on a macro level, the Bitcoin price is building a new macro ceiling here, this is what you would expect in a long-term bear trend, is that the macro bearish ceilings keep on being created lower and lower in the trend, keeping the lower high trajectory intact, squeezing and pushing that price further and further to the downside until eventually it's able to break the ceiling, back test it as new resistance, and then look to rip to the upside. Let's get this crypto. If you're new to this channel, if you're a moon boy that's getting angry by me showing you this, my friend, this is technical analysis. I mean, I'm not here to, to rub your shoulder, comb your hair, tell you, oh, little James, don't you worry, my friend. Bitcoin's going to the moon, and we'll be eating that peach cobbler with Satoshi soon. This isn't a channel for little Bitcoin crybabies. Don't worry, Kirby, we're going to the moon. My friend, this channel here, this channel is one of the most realistic Bitcoin technical analysis channels you're ever going to find. And if you're not subscribed here already, I mean, my friend, you should subscribe right now and tick the little bell, because this is where you get the clean-cut technical analysis with no Moonboy hullabaloo garbaggio attached. And my friends, we're going to discuss now some targets to the downside, what I'm looking for here on the daily and 4-hour time frame, targets to the upside if this does in fact break. So now that we've set up the macro side of this, right, that we're all on the same page here, understanding the macro view, in my opinion, now let's go in to what's going on here on the daily and the 4-hour time frame, okay? But my friends, before we do that, I mean, I hope you have already by now, but if you haven't, if you could leave a thumbs up here on the video for the algorithm and a comment, anything, just even one character, an emoji, a smiley face, anything, my friends. It so helps the algorithm, and I so appreciate it. Just get into the habit of leaving a thumbs up and any comment on these videos every day as you watch them. I so appreciate it. And as I've stated, if you're not already subscribed, my friends, welcome to the house that Don Carbonaccio built. Hit that subscribe button, tick the little bell, select all, and let's get this crypto. Welcome to the house that Don Carbonaccio built. Sheesh. Okay, so now, my friends, let's move in further to the daily time frame. Now, clearly, we've been rejected at this zone that I just outlined, but now that we're looking at this on a micro level, we need to understand where we're finding this support at right now. And I use support very loosely, my friends, because this is very easily subject to break at any time. But we saw that we got rejected at this region, and right now we've back tested the area of old resistance, right? Classic right there, that old resistance is now flipping into a new tentative and local support. Now, what we need to see here from a bullish perspective is that we do not lose this range, right? And by this range, I mean pretty much all the way down to 6,500. If Bitcoin can hold here, what we need to see is that a new high comes in from this region. That would be confirmation number one for me. Breaking this region would be number two for me. And then we could start to look at new analysis up inside this region. But, you know, we need to understand that even if the support is held here, if we get up to this prior high around 7,500 and fail, my friends, this would not be good to me, okay? So if we find support where we are at now and we come up here to make a double top and fail and come back into this box once again, my friends, I mean, this to me has the possibility here to be a double top at a macro long-term potential resistance ceiling, and that would be something that I would be looking for. Hey, I think it's getting very, very possible here that we could be looking for an absolutely heinous dump to the downside, forming somewhat of a bearish arc, something like that, right? Let's get this crypto. So we don't want to see that. I mean, that would be very, very weak to me, right? So what we need to understand here right now is that even if the Bitcoin price does go up from here, right, back to that prior high at 7,500, trust me, ladies and gentlemen, from the bottom there, if we were to get back to the top, that'd be about a 14% move. Every moon boy and their brother, Kirby, you see, the moon! What are you talking about, Stunad? Do you not know how to read the charts? Do you not know what you're looking at here? You just have a lottery ticket and a dream that Bitcoin's going to the moon? Let's step aside for a moment, ladies and gentlemen, and realize what the Bitcoin space is at this very moment in time. Okay? And I hope this changes down the line, but let's discuss what it is right now. It is a speculative market. We are trading in the rubble, the remnants of a historic parabolic bubble. Okay, we saw Bitcoin go on the greatest bull run of all time, the altcoin market as well. My friends, if you haven't realized, we are trading in the rubble, the remnants, the ashes of a blow off top bubbled market. Okay, this is why it drives me crazy. Kirby, the moon, the moon. What moon are you talking about, little James? We've been in a sustained lower high macro downtrend for years on end. What moon are you talking about? Okay, the thing is, my friend, is that what really irks me in this market is that I see so many traders, or rather traders, I use that term lightly, people that think that they're coming into this space as an investor. I mean, I'm trying to think of a way to put this lightly. You do realize that Bitcoin is over an $100 billion market cap, right? You realize that when the price was down here, right, there was a ton of room for Bitcoin to run like that because the market cap was much smaller. And then we wound up breaking a downward sloping trend structure, right? Lower high trajectory for years on end, broke it and created a higher high trajectory, okay? Then broke out above the old all-time high, okay? That is called a bull market, my friends. What we're seeing now looks exactly like what we saw here in a bear market, okay? I just don't think many people understand that, my friends, until this is really broken and we start to form higher highs consecutively for a long, long time, just like we did over here, my friends, we're trading in the remnants of a bubble pop, okay? And that's where traders thrive. That's where Don Carbonaccio looks to strike like a cobra out of the grass and get this crypto. I mean, think about these people here, ladies and gentlemen. If you say you bought the relative bottom here, say you had a buy order at 4,400, right? That you were just waiting for your order to fill if we broke out of this bearish resistance ceiling there at the bottom, right? And then you caught it and you just said, I'm a hodl, Kirby. I'm just going to hodl forever and ever again. And they hodled, my friends. They placed their stop loss at break even. Well, you got wicked out, little James. You got wicked out. My friends, right now, that's a testament to the fact that, you know, in a bear market, you know, hodling, however you'd like to, whatever you'd like to categorize it as, that's really not, you know, a strategy, in my opinion, that works very well. I mean, it's pretty obvious. That's why I trade the swings up and down, long and short. That's why I keep you all updated in VIP with my trade setups in real time as I look to enter trades, exit trades, take profits. If you're not already in my VIP, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, in real time, I post all my entries, exits, trade setup ideas, take profit zones. If you want to see exactly how I'm looking to crush this market and get this crypto, well, my friends, today is the day. It's time to transform yourself from Average Joe into Savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I will see you in VIP right now after this video. So my friends, right now, the fact is that we all want to understand and believe that Bitcoin could go up from here. I'm just pointing out that, you know, there's work cut out for it, because if we double top here, or if we just go underneath this box right now with the floor around 6,500, I mean, I just don't see how that's going to be very healthy for the trend, in my opinion. I mean, at that point, the last thing that maybe we could be looking for some bullish hope would be to create something like a head and shoulders pattern here. But I mean, what is that? That's it's just a bearish pattern creating, right? So it needs to hold here, my friends, and it needs to get above the old high. If it doesn't, I just see nothing here that looks bearish. Nothing here that looks bullish. It just looks really, really bearish. I mean, I just wish I could put it some other way. I just can't until I see something else change, right? And if we get above here, well, then the analysis is going to change. We start to look for bullish confirmations, bullish consolidations, and maybe we look to turn the trend around. But until that happens, we are still, in my opinion, in a very, very bearish zone. And this is the last line of hope here. After 6,500, if that fails, I mean, for me, ladies and gentlemen, the next target is going to be around 5,800 at this old consolidation range. If we use our Fibonacci retracement tool from the bottom wick here to the top here, we could see that we do have our honey hole, the honey hole of Don Carbonaccio down there between the 0.618 and the 0.5, around 49.66 and 5,368. Let's get this crypto. I mean, this to me seems like a very reasonable bearish target zone. And I don't even think that the low has to be in. It just is what it is, right? I mean, this is technical analysis. This isn't me making a prediction, right? I'm not making a prediction. I'm just using the past data here to come up with a hypothesis, a speculative hypothesis, to see maybe where the price could test back down to before we see some more speculative buying action. That's all I'm doing here, right? And we should all know that as well, if we go into the 4-hour time frame here, that this pattern in and of itself, let's clean this up just a bit, get all of the drawings out of there. My friends, this to me here, this type of pattern does not look very sustainable, my friends. And you could chalk it up that we've already been in a rising wedge and it's failing right now. It's possible. But just on the overall, minus the rising wedge, this type of V-shaped recovery generally doesn't last. I mean, sure, this time could be different, right? But V-shaped recoveries are generally just reaction rallies that wind up failing, especially when the volume is not there to support such an immense rally. And my friends, take a look at the volume down here. Just steady declining volume on a V-shaped reaction rally. I mean, to me, it looks like it's just screaming that this could be a heinous bull trap. It just is what it is, okay? Take it with a grain of salt. On the 4-hour time frame, I did see a bit of bullish divergence forming. Let's pull up our RSI. If you guys notice here, right, if we draw this line here, we draw it down to the other closes, right? We could see here that on the RSI, we did have a bullish divergence on the RSI, bullish divergence on the MACD histogram. So there is something a little bit there for me, right? I actually did speculate a little bit long from that point. I did keep my VIPs up to date with my trade that I opened there, but I've since closed the trade already, ladies and gentlemen. For me, we didn't see any follow through price action. The volume is just pitiful, my friends. The volume is just not there for me. Even though I'm seeing this potential divergence and that it could break out to the upside, we still have a lot of overhead looming potential resistance. We might double top. And right now the volume is so low that, it's possible that we just get a red candle of doom right through. And you know what? I decided to mitigate my risk. I closed my position for a very, very small profit, ladies and gentlemen, a minuscule profit. And right now I am looking for my next trade setup. So Like I stated earlier, if you do want to see exactly how I'm looking to set up my next trades to potentially crush this market and get this crypto, well, my friends, I will be posting all of my trade setup ideas exclusively for you in VIP. If you're not already in my VIP, today is the day. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I will see you in VIP right now after this video. Let's get this crypto. My friends, I hope you see what's going on here, right? I hope you see. One last piece of bullish sentiment, is that we still do have our gap up at the 9,060 region here on the CME futures chart. Again, excuse the doodling. I haven't pulled up this chart here since yesterday when we did the stream, but we do have a gap here at 9,060. Okay, and gaps do not need to fill, but historically they have filled to a lot of them have filled, put it that way. So if the bulls can break through that resistance ceiling that we've just outlined, if support can be kept, if they can break through the ceiling, it would not surprise me to see some potential speculation from the bullish buyers to potentially try and fill that gap there around the $9,060 region. Let's get this crypto. Okay, lots to consider here. Don't let this overwhelm you. Right now, for me, we appear to be in a little bit of a bearish predicament, really. But if we can break out to the upside, my friends, there could be some very nice targets ahead, right? And my friends, I know when I say stuff like this, right? Oh, Kirby, so it can go up or it can go down. My friend, this isn't a prediction. I don't have a crystal ball, right? This is called technical analysis. You're looking for high reward, low risk trade setups. If it breaks up, there's trade setups to be had from the upside. If it breaks down, there's trade setups to be had from the downside, right? That's how this works. If it goes up, I have plays to do something there. If it goes down, I have plays to do something there. This isn't about making a prediction saying, it must go in this direction. That's not how trading works. And if you're consuming analysis that says something like that, the person has no idea what they're talking about. Okay, so once again, if you're brand new, my friends, hit that subscribe button, tick the little bell, and select all. This is the house that Don Curbonaccio built, and it's some of the realest Bitcoin technical analysis you're ever going to find. So if you're brand new, welcome to the channel, my friends. Hit that subscribe button, tick the little bell, and select all. Welcome to the channel. And my friends, if you haven't already, again, for the algorithm, if you really could just hit that thumbs up button, and leave a comment, anything, one character, an emoji, thanks Kirby, hey Kirby. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Just get in the habit of when the video starts every day, hit that thumbs up button and leave any comment. I really would appreciate it. Thank you very much. And my friends, right now, I am going to get back to formulating my next trade setups here, as I do believe we are potentially awaiting an explosive breakout, either right through this resistance range or right through this support floor. I think we're going to be in for a vicious move. Do not be getting caught like a deer in the headlights here, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be taking that trip to Wrecked City with Average Joe and James at the water cooler. You're better than that. You deserve better than that. Today is the day. It's time to transform yourself from Average Joe into Savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. Okay, that being said, my friends, I will see you in VIP, where I will be exclusively posting my trade setup ideas, my entries, my exits, my targets, my potential take profit zones, etc. My friends, if you'd like to see how I'm setting up my trades in absolute real time as I potentially look to crush this market like a 2-ton man on a tuna fish can, then my friends, I will see you in VIP right now after this video. Let's get this crypto. And until next time, my friends, the Don has spoken. Be safe. Be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.